and Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti MARJANNA binti SYAHREZAL. My matric number is H21A2662. Today I will present introduction. Our group has chosen two companies that are in hospitality, which are the first one is Lotus KFM Berhad and the second is HAMZAH Industry Berhad. Financial ratio are important for both companies as they enable them to compare their financial situation and develop ongoing financial plans. We use trend and comparison analysis to access liquidity, activity, debt, and profitability ratio over a 2-year period. This analysis will provide insight into how their financial performance has evolved over time, whether it has improved, declined, or remained stable.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is MASYITAH binti FADZLI and my matric number is H21A2982. I want to present about background of the company. There are two companies which is HAMZAH and Lotus KFM Berhad. HAMZAH is a Malaysian manufacturer of biscuit. In 1957, four brothers of the Kurt family and another partner found HAMZAH in Malay village of Parit Linau Kecil, Bukit Pasir in Batu Pahat, Johor. Back in 1958, HAMZAH, which translates to success with teamwork in Chinese, was established as HAMZAH, a partnership by the four founding directors of the group. Currently, Chew Seong Keuk is chairman at HAMZAH Perusahaan Makanan Sendirian Berhad. HAMZAH Perusahaan Makanan is now part of HAMZAH Sendirian Berhad, which was listed on Bursa Malaysia in 2000. The second company is Lotus KFM Berhad. Lotus KFM Berhad operates as flour milling company. Lotus KFM Berhad was founded on 12 May 1984 and is headquartered in Putrajaya, Malaysia. The company offers tapioca and cornstarch as well as wheat flour. The company operates in Malaysia and Singapore. The company also provides technical and transport service.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NORIAH binti INDRA and my matric number is H2183070. I want to present about the ratio analysis of Lotus KFM Berhad. Firstly, current ratio for Lotus KFM Berhad for 2021 is 11.09 while 3.64 for 2020. Next, the quick ratio for Lotus KFM Berhad 2021 is 10.32 while 3.70 for 2000. The activity ratio for Lotus KFM Berhad. Firstly, the total asset turnover for 2021 is 0.60 while 0.69 for 2020. Next, the account receivable turnover for 2021 is 6.91 while for 2020 10.44. The average collection period for Lotus KFM Berhad for 2021 is 52.80 while for 2020 is 34.9. Now I want to explain about the leverage of Lotus KFM Berhad. The debt ratio for 2021 is 16% while 30% for 2020 and the debt to equity for 2021 is 60% and for 2020 is 41%. And then lastly, time in interest ratio for 2021 is 822% and for 2020 is 3,355%. Lastly, for profitability ratio, the return on equity for 2021 is 4% while 18% for 2020. Next, the total of return on asset for 2021 is 3% while the total on asset for 2020 is 12%. The total of gross profit margin for 2021 is 8% and the gross profit margin for 2020 is 10% and the operating profit margin for 2021 is 5% while 18% and the total of net profit margin for 2021 is 5% while the net profit margin for 2020 is 8% and the Total of net profit margin for 2021 is 5%, while the net profit margin for 2020 is 18%.
Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad IQMAL bin SITI and my matric number is H21A2233. So today I'm going to discuss about HAMZAH industry berhad liquidity ratio. First is current ratio. The formula that we use to find out the current ratio is current asset divided by current liabilities. The result shows in 2020 we got 3.65 and then increased to 28.94 in 2021. And then we move on to quick ratio. The formula that we use to find it is current ratio minus inventory and then divided by current liabilities. The result shows in 2020 we got 3.37 and then increased to 26.47 in 2021. Last but not least in liquidity ratio is net working capital. The formula that we use to find this ratio is current asset minus current liabilities. The result shows in 2020 we got 47,120,407, but decreased in 2021 to 39,348,847. We move on to the activity ratio for the HAMZAH industry berhad company. So first activity ratio is total asset turnover. The formula that we use to find this ratio is revenue divided by total asset. The result shows in 2020 we got 0.67 and decreased to 0.26 in 2021. Alright, we move on to the second activity ratio, which is account receivable. The formula that we use to find the ratio is sales divided by account receivable. So the result shows in 2020 we got 1,612.23 but decreased in 2021 to 547.87. Alright, next activity ratio is average collection period. The formula that we use to find this ratio is account receivable divided by daily sales. The result shows in 2020 that we got 0.23 and then increased to 0.97 in 2021. And for the last activity ratio is fixed assets turnover. The formula that we use to find this ratio is sales minus fixed asset. The result shows in 2020 we got 1.48 but decreased to 0.46 in 2021. For the leverage or debt ratio, first of all, debt ratio. The formula that we use to find this ratio is total liabilities divided by total assets. The result shows in 2020 that we got 0.15 and then decreased to 0.02. The formula that we use for debt equity is total liabilities divided by common stock equity. The result shows in 2020 we got 22% and then 2021 we got only 2%. Lastly, the formula that we use to find out time interest earned ratio is EBIT divided by interest. The result shows in 2020 we got 118.73 but decreased to 34.82 in 2021. Alright, for the profitability ratio, first is return on equity. The formula that we use to find it is earning after tax divided by total equity. The result shows in 2020 we got 65% but decreased to 21% in 2020. So we move on to return on assets. The formula that we use is earning after tax divided by total asset. So the result shows in 2020 we got 55%, but decreased to 20% in 2021. So we move on to the gross profit margin. The formula that we use to find this ratio is gross profit divided by sales. The result shows in 2020 that 0% and also 0% in 2021. So last but not least is net profit margin. The formula that we use to find this ratio is earning after tax divided by sales. The result shows in 2020 is 83%, but decreased to 79% in 2021.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NURHAYANI binti ABDUL. My matric number is H2182516. I will start with the liquidity ratio calculation. The first current ratio for Lotus is 3.62%, which is less than the HAMZAH company 3.63% by 2020. The quick ratio of Lotus has a higher value of 0.55% versus 0.17% of HAMZAH. Next is the net working capital. The value of company HAMZAH higher than Lotus in 2020, which was 47,038,767 compared to Lotus 41,069,938. Next, we go to the second ratio analysis, which is the activity ratio for 2020 for Lotus and HAMZAH companies. For the total turnover assets, the value of the HAMZAH company is higher at 1.41% compared to the Lotus company is 0.62%. A receivable turnover account, the value for the HAMZAH company is also higher at 9.63% compared to the Lotus company is 8.42%. In addition, the average collection period for the Lotus is 43.37% higher, while the HAMZAH is only 0.23%. For inventory turnover, it showed that the value of the HAMZAH company was higher at 8.24%, while for the Lotus it was 5.74%. Finally, the fixed asset turnover showed that the Lotus was higher at 2.12%, while the HAMZAH was 1.41%. The third ratio is the leverage or debt ratio. For the debt ratio, Lotus is higher at 0.30%, while HAMZAH is 0.15%. Next, for the debt to equity, the value of the Lotus company is higher at 0.44% compared to the HAMZAH of 0.17%. Time interest earned, the Lotus company is higher at 4.16%, while the HAMZAH company is 0.97%. The last ratio analysis is the profitability ratio. In terms of return on equity, HAMZAH companies were higher than Lotus companies at 28.9%, while Lotus firm were 0.68%. Next is the return on assets. The HAMZAH value is higher at 17.44%, while the Lotus is 0.68%. In addition, the gross profit margin of HAMZAH is higher at 1.34%, while that of Lotus is 0.11%. In terms of operating margin, both companies get the same value of 0.01%. Finally, the net profit margin is higher than of the HAMZAH company, which is 12.30%, while that of the Lotus company is 0.02%.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nabila binti HAMZAH. My matric number H2182587. For the overall analysis, company HAMZAH and Lotus are in 2012 and 2001, both of the business present a strong financial report. The research important because it can interact with visitor in choosing the best company to invite in based on risk to maximize their investor returns. Financial ratio analysis is quantity tool used by business manager to learn about company probability, solidity, efficiency, liquidity, coverage, and market value. By analyzing the data contained in the frame balance sheet, income statement, and statement of cash flow, ratio analysis provided the information to business manager. Financial ratio analysis provided invaluable information to manager to make financial decision for the company as well. Internal practitioner or visitor who need to assess the company financial health. From the result, we can conclude that HAMZAH is the best in quality ratio. There is a ratio for current ratio, net working capital but not quality ratio. Lotus which get a large amount compare HAMZAH. This means Lotus company has successfully determined the debitor ability to pay off current debt obligation without accumulating secondary capital compare HAMZAH in 2012. From the result, we can conclude that leverage or debt ratio for book company in 2020, namely Lotus and HAMZAH, is Lotus company better than HAMZAH company because HAMZAH company has lower value for debt ratio, debt to equity but time interest is higher than Lotus company. In conclusion, if we visitor, we would choose HAMZAH Corporation Berhad. This is because this company have more advantage in probability, leverage ratio and activity ratio. Therefore, they can collect their debt faster and more profit and sales.